Welcome everyone. Welcome to Voices from the Vortex. I am Taylor.
I'm the ghost of Christmas, Matt.
Oh my.
No, I'm just Matt. No,
Oh, okay,
no,
good.
I
I was really worried there for a second.
I was too.
So, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
How's everyone else out there?
I am so excited to talk about this episode.
Oh my god, yes!
It was pretty much just one of the best things I've ever seen.
I can honestly, and you know my passion for the A Christmas Carol episode. I loved everything about this.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
No, it was really, really good. And just some of the stuff that we're getting into is just, it gets me so excited for that too. So,
So it was the Christmas special, which is titled The Snowmen,
Yes.
which was written by Stephen Moffat. Takes place right after the Pawns have sort of left. The Doctor is in his morose, boring period of I don't want to help anybody, and living his life in Victorian England. And along comes actually a very old villain from Doctor Who.
yeah, which I did not know that until I had looked it up.
Yeah, the Great Intelligence from long ago.
Second
really
Doctor, right?
good throwback. Yeah, Second Doctor.
Yeah.
Good throwback. It's good.
Yeah.
Just Stephen Moffat really loves pulling that stuff in from out of nowhere. Just kind of grabbing those old villains and saying, hey, we can make them cool again. We can make them new. I thought in this context it was absolutely perfect. The snow that talks to the boy becomes the man. He's really the puppet. That the snow itself isn't really snow. It's the great intelligence, and I don't know. It seems very Christmassy to me.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the episode here, and then we'll discuss it some more when we get there. So first, it starts off. You get the creepy snowflakes at the beginning. They're like rah, rah, which it's just totally funny, but I was like, whoa, start us off creepy there. And then you got a little boy. He's building a snowman. And then all of a sudden the snowman's like, you shall not pass!
No, now come on. I'll give you hope, old friend.
Exactly.
Don't get in my way.
They're never late. They show up exactly at the time they mean to be. It's the voice of Gandalf. It's
Gandito.
Yes, it's Sir Ian McKellen, which is amazing that they got him to do that.
Magnoff.
Yes. I just thought that was so great. I love when sort of big actors do kind of small parts or little cameos and stuff,
Yeah.
I just love that. I think that's just perfect.
When this is he's so active in British stuff. This is a very British thing to do. It's become very popular to be on this show.
Yeah, it has. And I mean, we've had a lot of good people on there. And I mean, in not the last Christmas one, but the one you were talking about earlier, we had Dumbledore on there, so. So we got
Dumbledore.
Yeah, so Dumble. So then, you're right. It cuts into the future. He grows up to be Dr. Simeon, and he's been collecting snow. He's had some people help him, and then he feeds them to the snowmen, which is the thing we saw from the preview. He's like, I said I'd feed you. I didn't say who to. Yeah. And they're all like, oh, gosh.
Not us!
And then this was kind of a long opening for this one. But then we see Clara, and she's a barmaid there, and she's notices this snowman that just sort of pops up, and she sort of asks the Doctor because he's passing by, and he's wearing Amy's glasses, which I thought was a nice touch.
I really enjoyed that little piece of what he loved.
Sort of held on to those.
Yeah.
And then he sort of talks to her a little bit, and then decides, well, I'm getting involved again. I better get out of here. And then she chases him down, which is really interesting, because that usually doesn't happen.
Well, and that's I think a big part of all this is the Clara, her character, is being drawn to the Doctor. And we'll get into that here in just a minute, but she chases him down. She wants to know him. But it does lead to it is my favorite scene next to the TARDIS scene in this whole episode, which is the comedy stylings of the Doctor and Strax.
Yeah, definitely. But she's such a great character. She is like, she's almost like a female version of him. She's just like real clever, real witty. He's kind of got to keep up with her. I mean, it's just really great just seeing. I wasn't sure what kind of character she would be. I didn't know if she was kind of be the same as in Asylum of the Daleks. And she kind of is a little bit, but she's got a little bit different feel about her because she's sort of a different time period. But just a great character, and every scene she was in, I just like, wow, she's really, really good. Okay, so then we get the old Doctor Who joke, which is the best. And then, oh my god. The intro. Oh my god, the intro. Can we talk about the intro? Let's talk about it.
So, one of the things that I love about Doctor Who, and I know you do too, has always been that it can, because it's been going on so long, it can sort of harken back to things. It can talk about stuff, and really kind of get into its own history. This intro just reeks of Doctor Who, and that's what I love.
Yeah. First of all, the arrangement is great. Here's what I love about it. It's sort of a mix between the epicness of the season 4 one, which everyone knows I love that one. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's a mix between that and like the very first theme song, because I've heard the really old ones and they're real kind of simple, but it's kind of the same sound there for that
it's
rhythm
got that
and
sort
everything.
Of haunting, yeah. Well, and it makes for a very mysterious Doctor, which is kind of what we have now. We have a Doctor he's very mysterious. We don't know where his headspace is or what's going on with him. And this theme really, I mean, you're right, it jazzed up. It shows a explosive new universe and yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's not really. It doesn't really look like it's flying through the time vortex this time around. It looks like it's just flying through space.
Well, and remember how we had talked about earlier in the other stuff that the time vortex looked like it was getting darker and darker, in those first 5 episodes. Yeah. So maybe that was kind of the point, is they were phasing that out, fading it away, and then this is what was left.
Yeah, they were doing, and then, but the one thing they still did was, I think, is when the words Doctor Who came up, it looked like snow. Mm-hmm. I think so. I think they're still kind of doing that thing, at least for this episode. They did, or they have like a kind of a texture in the letters that has to do with something with the episode. So I think they're still doing that. The other thing is the face.
Yes. In the nebula.
Yeah, you see Matt's face just briefly, which I think was brilliant, because every time I've watched YouTube videos of the old intros, the face is super cheesy. It's like the cheesiest thing ever. But what they did here was they made it very subtle, and that is just like perfect.
Yes.
I mean, it was a callback to the old thing, but if they'd really done it, it would have been like super cheesy,
I feel like they are, getting closer and closer to the old show in a lot of different respects, and that's a part of it, is bringing back a little bit of that cheese factor. Is that, you know what, his face was on TV, and right there you saw it. He winked at you. by the Seventh Doctor. So
yeah, I have to say the one thing I did not like about the new intro, and it pains me to say I didn't like something about it, but there's one thing that bugs me, and I've watched it several times now, is at the very end, the TARDIS flies towards the screen and then the doors open up.
Oh, come on, that was great.
I don't know. I mean, it's just the way the doors open and then there's the show.
It's
back into the show. It's just kind of a weird. I thought that was too much. I thought
it was meant to be fun and cheesy, and it's meant to be goofy.
I mean, it's okay. I'll probably get used to it, but that was the one thing I thought. Oh well.
No, I thought that was great. I think that
no, spot on.
Oh man, see,
I thought it was amazing.
It really was, and it's the tone of the show. And you've got a new era of this version of Doctor Who, so you got to have a new era of the intro, a new TARDIS. Yeah, and I really love the arrangement this time around. I think this might become my new. I'm waiting for them to release a full version of it. And then that way, that would be fantastic when they do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this one might become my new favorite. We'll see. Okay, so the episode starts off. We're at this man's house. I didn't really catch his name. There's something growing in his pond out front. And
real throwaway character, by the way. There's so much more they could have done with that guy that they just didn't do anything with.
Yeah, he was just kind of there. He did okay. But then they had Dr. Simeon. He's sort of investigating this pond, and he has an interest in it. Mm-hmm. And then he's walking home, and Madame Vastra and Jenny sort of confront him in the alley. And I thought the really funny thing here was he says that Sir Conan Doyle has been using the stories of them to inspire him to write Sherlock Holmes, which I thought was really funny.
And that's such because it's Moffat and he writes Sherlock, and
yeah.
I only wish there had been a Benedict Cumberbatch reference.
Yeah, something. Yeah, that would have been good. He would have been good in this too. He would have been a good voice of the Snow or something, or the Great Intelligence or something too.
We might still see him in Doctor Who this year, so
that would be awesome. I'd love for him to be the Master or something. I think that would be incredible.
That's what I'm hoping.
Well, I would love to see the John Sim. I'd love to see him come back, if only for briefly, just to tie it together, because
absolutely,
yeah, because it's it still bugs me that we don't know how 8 turned to 9. That still bugs me.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like to know what happened.
So, moving through the story, we've got a frozen lake, the children in the house who are afraid of it, the girl who's been having nightmares, and it turns out that our barmaid is actually the governess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she sort of gets involved with the Doctor, and he's going to try to erase her mind with this memory worm thing. And we get some good Strax humor there, the comedy stylings.
I don't know how anyone can't love Strax.
He was hilarious. Yeah. I liked we were talking about this in our little prequel episode. Strax had previously died in A Good Man Goes to War, and they reference this here. They say a good friend of mine brought him back, which I was like, are we supposed to know what he's talking about, or because I didn't? It was really vague. He was just really vague about it, so I didn't know if it was a reference I missed or something.
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I don't think.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've just been stumped.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you heard it here first. Matthew is stumped.
We'll give you a no prize if you can call in and let us know.
Yeah, well, I think it may be something, because we'll talk about it when we talk about the promos, but I think we get to see him again, so maybe they'll bring it up, you know. But he just said
Very
a good
possible.
friend to him. Yeah, he just said a good friend to him brought him back. So, you know,
Right.
who did that and how? So we'll see.
Well, and it's unique that you would have, you know, a clone batch like that.
Yeah,
They're done in the millions, not in the singulars. So
yeah. I liked his typical middle child of 6 million.
Sorry.
Clara sort of.
I had no response to that apparently. Yes.
Clara follows him, the Doctor, and she finds his TARDIS. Which here's another crazy thing the TARDIS can do. It can have a staircase to it, and
what was it he says about
ladder.
it though? He says it's longer on the inside, or it's
Oh,
taller
I love
on the inside.
that. Yeah, that was that was awesome. It's taller on the inside, or something like that. Yeah.
Well,
Wondering how
course
she
it
was
would
going
be.
up so quickly. It's taller on the inside.
So you get
And
the woman in the ice comes to life
Yeah.
and attacks the home,
Yeah.
and you get the Doctor and Clara having to escape.
Uh-huh. And they go to the roof, and actually before that I like the part where he first like sort of sonics the ice woman with the puppet.
Yeah.
He pops up and the puppet's holding the sonic screwdriver and points it at her. That was hilarious.
He's such a goofy.
He
son
is
of
a goofy.
bitch.
Yeah. Well, and she really brought that out of him in this one, because the part then where she's like, it's getting cooler, or she says it's cooler, and he's like looking in the mirror and he goes, yes, it is cooler. Bow ties are cool. You know, he's sort of like, hey, you know, he's getting out of his funk.
Which is good. And then she pulls him right out of that.
Yeah, she does. So they go up to the TARDIS, and the TARDIS is like all dirty, which I almost think it's like it's still dirty from Angels Take Manhattan, because it was dirty like right at the very end. It was all kind of burnt up.
Yeah, well, he was trying to clean it off, and he stopped because of this, the stuff with the angel.
Yeah. I think he's just kind of left it like that, which is kind of sad. Poor TARDIS.
Yeah.
But the inside,
oh my god,
all snazzied up. I love it.
It's so clean and gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the one thing I do like about it is I felt like the old one. Well, maybe not Tennant's, but Matt Smith's old TARDIS was kind of like, it was kind of messy. Like, it was just kind of like, I mean, it was really fun, but at the same time, it was just like, I feel like there were like coils hanging down and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't see a TARDIS for 20 years, and then you get the coral reef stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure. But Matt Smith's TARDIS is the one that really, man, I thought that was gorgeous.
Yeah,
I thought
it
that
was
was
really,
perfect.
it was pretty, yeah. Lots of pretty colors, but this one,
I know you felt it was a lot like a cave.
Well, the first one, where you said the coral reef, I thought that one was like a cave. Nice cave with some nice buttresses or whatever those things you call them.
Buttresses?
I don't know. those big pillar things that went in. Anyway, Yeah,
really,
but
one of
Matt
these
Smith's-
days we should put a disclaimer at the front of all of these that just says, hey, by the way, we record these at like 11 at night, so 90% of the time our cohesive
I might say something
thought
crazy
is just,
like buttresses.
we talk about the buttresses, and that's about what you're going to get. That's the quality here in Voices from the Vortex.
You get what you pay for. It's free. So, oh no, it's a classy show. Anyway,
this is, go ahead.
So Matt Smith's his old TARDIS. I thought it was definitely an improvement, but I feel like this one is so different. I feel like it's so much better.
It's a very different. It's a different Doctor.
Yeah, it is, and it's much cleaner. I love the light. The light that's like kind of going around at the top, and the really cool Gallifreyan writing on those white panels that go around in the middle. Just super cool. And then probably the funniest line in the whole show. I almost lost it. She runs around, and I'm like, oh, here it comes. She runs around the outside. She comes in, and she says, it's smaller on the outside. I lost
All right.
it.
That's new.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was not expecting that at all. And I think that's
I was really happy with that.
Yeah, I was too. I think that's a testament to the kind of character she is. You know, the Doctor thinks he's heard it all, but he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got a different perspective here. Here's the thing though. I thought he was moving pretty quick with her, because like he gives her a key,
like right away.
Yeah, like right away. And I remember with Martha, it was like maybe halfway through the season, he was like, "All right, I'll give you a key."
Well, maybe that just goes to show how far he's come. That he's willing to recognize right away when something's right.
Yeah, I think so too, which makes what happens next even harder.
Yeah.
The ice woman sort of gets through and grabs her and pulls her off the cloud, and I was like, what?
Which really, I thought he would have saved her, really. Like, I thought he would have jumped in the TARDIS and
me too.
Dialed back time and been like, no, not again.
I know. And then they come back from commercial, and then she's just like, boom. And I was like, no!
Yeah.
I was for sure, too, that he was going to do something.
And that's really the mystery that they're building now with her character.
Yeah. Well, then I think, okay, well, I know she's the new companion, so she's got to be okay. That's what I'm telling myself as I'm watching this. I'm like, she's got to be all right.
Little did you know.
Little did I know they're going to throw something crazy.
We're going to kill her. We're going to kill her every freaking time.
Known, yeah.
That's what you get for believing.
Yeah, you think I'd learn by now. So anyway, he goes and he investigates this great intelligence, and I liked. We passed over it earlier, but he does this whole Sherlock thing, like earlier, which he sort of bursts in there and checks it out. But he's like wearing a Sherlock outfit, and he's got a cane, and
another cane.
Huh?
Him and the Sonic cane.
Oh, yeah. It should have been a Sonic cane. That would be good.
This is the second time we've seen him with the cane, though. Do you think it was a Sonic one?
Oh, I don't know. I loved his stuff where, first of all, the music. If anyone's seen Sherlock out there, the music was like totally, like for like a 4 bars or something. There was like a dead-on sort of spoof of the Sherlock theme and the Sherlock music, and the music. It was hilarious, and just the way he talked and just the stuff he was saying was, he's like, I'm deducing, quiet. He's like smacking the globe with the stick.
He was so well, and the Doctor is a goof, and he's always like doing things knowingly and making people think he's not doing them knowingly, and I think he played that very well here.
Yeah, he really did. So he goes to sort of face the bad guy here, and the bad guy's kind of a strange thing. I wasn't too sure what it was. I think, from what I gathered, the Great Intelligence is just sort of this invisible force, this sort of psychic link.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the Doctor Who version of a hive mind. It's you know.
Yeah. And I always thought the one thing that I will say about Doctor Who is they always, whenever there's something that's kind of magic or something that kind of can't be explained, it's always a psychic field or something.
Yeah.
Like every time, it's always like, oh, it's a psychic link, it's a psychic field, or something. It's always they tend to use that a lot.
Well, and a lot of that just stems from the kind of science that Doctor Who is based on, because a lot of it, the idea is that there's an energy field that surrounds the Earth that connects us all, and that's used over and over again. I mean, in everything, of course, in anything science fiction, but in Doctor Who, very much so.
Yeah. So he tricks Dr. Simeon into. He thinks he's got a piece of the Ice Woman, which is what it's what the Great Intelligence wanted, so that it could build sort of this army of ice people who would never melt, sort of evolve,
overthrow
with the whole
Earth
thing there. He tricks him into opening it, the tin, and it's got the memory worm inside. And the memory worm bites him, and he loses decades of his memory, which sort of disconnects him from the Great Intelligence.
Right.
But then, and this was I was totally confused here. The Great Intelligence, I guess, sort of evolved on its own and sort of became its own thing, and then it
new.
Yeah. It used lightning to sort of make Dr. Simeon be a puppet. It was kind of weird. Well, to be honest, I was really less interested in the bad guy and what was going on there than I was in what the heck was going on with Clara.
Well, and that's sort of the only drawback to this whole episode is that I love a good monster, and I love a good episode where it's a monster episode, but seriously, when you pose some really good mysteries like they've been doing, you really just kind of want to see more resolution to the mysteries.
Yeah.
And, okay, fun episode, but, no, I'm really interested in what Clara's up to. What the hell's going on with her?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing was, they really didn't use the snowmen that much.
I think you only see them twice.
Yeah, they used them at the beginning, and then they used them, they would pop up, and then they were just sort of outside the building at that one point. Just sort of there, looking scary. But, I mean, the episode's called The Snowmen, but they really weren't around that much.
Yeah. Yeah, it really wasn't about the snowmen
they
at
were
all.
Cool. That was a cool looking thing. The snowmen with the teeth.
I would have liked to see more.
It would have been nice to see them in action a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. And maybe we will. But sadly, not in this episode. But I would like to see a revisitation of these guys, because it really was. It was a good villain. And I think whenever you have a good villain, you should bring them back. You should keep responding to them and pitting the Doctor against them in different ways. So hopefully we will.
Yeah, which is what they did with the Angels. They've done that very well.
Exactly. People love them that much that, hey, we've got to go back to them.
Yeah, and what they do is they bring them back, but then they don't ruin them. They think of something new for them to do.
Exactly.
And it makes it a lot more interesting, and you don't get sick of them.
Never.
So then what happens is the Great Intelligence is sort of... it ends up linking to Clara crying, because it's sort of a stronger thing. I guess a stronger thing for it to link to, and it does that, and it dissipates and turns to rain. and it's I guess it's gone or dead. I'm not even sure what happened there.
It's destroyed. Yeah.
I think I would assume it's destroyed. That's from them, the way they reacted.
The power of love destroys.
Yeah, there you go. Where's Huey Lewis in the news? Let's get him in here. 2, 3, 4. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
No, you don't need money. You don't need fame.
No,
what?
no.
Sorry,
and
stuck in a Huey Lewis moment.
Yeah.
No,
anyway,
you don't.
No, you just get on the train. Anyway, so then she says she dies. Okay, which is like, "Puh," and she says, "Yeah, exactly." She says, "Run, you clever boy, and remember." And then,
so, go ahead.
Well, and then that sort of triggers his memory, and he sees her. He finally sees her gravestone, and sees the whole name. Clara Oswin Oswald is her full name, and she and he remembers. Oh, Oswin Oswald was the name of the woman from Asylum of the Daleks who got turned into a Dalek. Same voice. He recognizes the voice, and this sort of he's off. You know, he's like, I got something new to look into. I'm so excited.
Yeah, well, it's a mystery, and for the first time in a while, he's excited about it.
Yeah.
But it is a good mystery, though. And now that's the thing that I'm really excited the most about, is the idea that she keeps telling him to remember. You know, this is the second time. This is... I even went back and rewatched the one with her with the Daleks, and she looks right at the camera right before she goes. Like, there's something going on. She is knowingly doing something.
Yeah, I mean, there's something there. And I think another thing, I think the Great Intelligence might return or something, because there's a little thing at the end where he looks at the card. He says, "The Great Intelligence sounds familiar," or rings a bell, or something. He says something like that. So they sort of left that open as something that they might...
there's more going on than meets the eye here.
Yeah, something that they might revisit, because it sounded like, oh, rings a bell. Like, now he's got something else to think about, too, this Great Intelligence. Right. And then the last thing they show is, I guess, future Clara, or I guess it's present. It would be the present day Clara, and she's walking through a graveyard past the gravestone, the same gravestone. And my question is, does she know that it's a grave with her name on it, or was she just walking through? I wasn't quite sure.
And we gotta wait till April.
Yeah, that really grinds my gears.
Oh, listen to you. Good job.
I can't believe that. England. So, now I hear you have a theory.
I've got a couple of things that I'm working on, but...
and I would love for you to share at least a little bit of it.
Here's my big theory right now. The one I've got a little bit of proof here, I think. So, I believe that all of the Doctor's life is being manipulated right now. Matt Smith's regeneration entirely is being manipulated. You know, we've got the Dream Lord, we've got Prisoner Zero, who seems very knowing of the Silence. You've got the Silence themselves. And I think that there is, considering how many villains they're harkening back to, from, you know, Hartnell and Troughton and Pertwee, I think we're going to see a group, an order, whoever founded the Silence, maybe some renegade Time Lords. Maybe they are the ones who forced the second Doctor to regenerate into the third. They looked very different. They acted very different. It was never really addressed. Or maybe just a collection of, like, the Time Meddler and some of these older villains that the Doctor fought. But
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that guy, the Time Meddler.
Yeah.
It's like the Riddler or something.
I'm the time meddler. Meddle.
I'm gonna...
That's... Wears a suit, like, with clocks printed all over it.
Yeah, there you go.
But
melted clocks or something like...
He's got these giant sunglasses he wears, and the round circles for the sunglasses are like clock faces.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, so I feel
Meddle
like
me this, Doctor.
Meddle me this, Doctor. What time is it?
Time to die. Anyway, all right. So I'm sorry. Go on. No, go on.
I feel like there's going to be this group that are specifically trying to keep the Doctor from getting to Transalore. The whole prophecy about the Doctor, going to Transalore, the fall of the 11th, and the question being asked. It's interesting because... Okay, so... If the prophecy is about the Doctor regenerating, if that's really what the fall of the 11th is about, if the whole idea of the Fields of Translore is about the end of Matt Smith's era, then there is a group specifically trying to keep him from that moment. So as long as he is Matt Smith, the Silence or whomever are doing whatever it is they want to do. The Dream Lord was envisioned by the Doctor, created by his mind. And if the Dream Lord was created by the Doctor's mind, maybe that's what Clara is. That in his true depression, at the end of his rope where the Doctor no longer wants to help, it's him himself who's creating this reason, this woman, twice dead now, dragging him along, trying to get him to the Fields of Transalore.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it would be kind of sad because I really like this character and I'd hate for her to be not a real thing,
Very much so, yeah. Oh, I like her a lot.
That is really interesting, and it sounds legit.
sounds very Stephen Moffat-y.
Yep, and a good way to bring in some interesting characters like the Time Meddler, and bring in some more Time Lords. Sort of. I mean, you'd have to figure out a way to get him out of the time bubble or whatever from the war, but...
Right, well, it could just be a renegade group that didn't participate.
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, they could have survived, who knows. But yeah, that sounds really awesome. So, way to go.
Well, thank you. I do my best.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for the episode. There wasn't much else about the episode that you want. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not right now.
Okay.
There's some stuff I'm going to want to call back to later.
There'll be a lot to go. Yeah.
Episode by episode, it's gonna get crazy.
Shit's
gonna get
have
real
a feeling.
up in here.
Yes, I definitely have a feeling it will. Well, now it's time for...
Oh my god, the preview!
Oh my god, that promo! Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that promo!
Oh, okay.
Yay, promo.
So this is one of those promos where it's like, coming soon, and they show you several episodes together.
Right.
Which I like those, because you're totally confused the whole time you're watching it. You're like, oh my god, what was that? And what was that? Oh my god. And what was that? So, a couple things I noticed. It seems he's going to be running around with this present day Clara. So it's like, okay, we're going to see how he finds her. That's kind of an interesting thing here.
Right.
I also I saw some Cybermen in there. That's good news.
Yeah, they look like Iron Man.
Yeah, they were a little different. He grabs some sort of staff and he's like, oh, they looked less, I don't know what he was doing, but they looked less clunky than before.
They do, don't they? They look like they could chase you down. They're fast zombies.
They look
now.
like they could run and they actually, and not ka-chung, ka-chung, ka-chung. You hear him coming down the street.
How does the Cyberman sneak up on you? That's impossible.
Exactly. That is scary, okay? If a Cyberman can sneak up on you, that's very scary.
Yeah.
But I heard that they were that people were kind of a little disappointed in the new Cybermen when the new show came back, because it was like they weren't the same. They were kind of just these
they're very different.
Yeah, they were just kind of these mindless robots. They weren't really the same as they used to be. And yeah, they were more clunky and stuff. So I'm excited to see a new twist on these villains.
I want the villains to evolve. I want them to get darker and scarier. And it's like every time the Daleks come back, great episodes, but you always want a new trick up their sleeves, And they did that with the Angels. That every time you saw the Angels, there was something new, and that's good. That really kind of makes them scary. Scarier.
Yeah.
The Cybermen are scary, but they're the Cybermen. You know what they're gonna do. You know how it's gonna go.
Yeah, they're one of the cornier villains of the whole thing. So I'm excited to see if they'll do something new. Let's see what else. There seems to be some people interested in Clara.
Oh, yeah, and then
that's a thing.
The really truly great moment of the Doctor swiveling around to say, she's not possible.
Yeah. The woman's wife did. Yeah. It's kind of a...
Yeah.
It's like, let's find out who you really are. He says something like that, too. So that's kind of the biggest thing I'm into right now, is like, what is going on with Clara?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that'll be the great mystery. That'll hopefully lead us all the way into the 50th anniversary. Yeah.
Let's see. There were some other villains in there. I didn't really recognize any of them.
Yeah, I've heard the Ice Warriors are returning, and I haven't. But I didn't see anything that.
Oh, they would be from the old
Ice
show.
Warriors. Yeah. So there's always the possibility.
Back? Like way far back, or
Ice Warriors? That's second Doctor.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's far back. Well, that'd be cool. I've never seen them. I have to look them up, check them out. And yeah, I did see Madame Vastra and Jenny and Strax are back too. They're in there somewhere.
Yeah,
or
good.
At least, well, I think at least either that or just a random Sontaran was in there.
I don't know. Yeah, because he was wearing the blue suit, wasn't he?
Yeah. I would wager a guess, though, it's Strax, though. Because I think I saw the other two in there, so. It's one of those where it's like frame by frame, so it's like really fast. And,
right.
And yeah, that's all I can think of. It's really exciting. It gets me super pumped for April.
For April. God, it can't come fast enough.
Sad news right there. But, that's how they do it over there, so. We have no choice.
Well, yeah. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, should you have any questions, if you're interested in asking us anything that we can respond to, I know we have some pretty dedicated listeners out there. By all means, come on over to our Tumblr and link. You're already there if you're listening, and leave a comment. Ask us a question.
Yeah.
Let us respond.
Yes, and share if you're so inclined. We'd love to get some more listeners, and if you like it, just tell a friend, and hopefully they'll tell a friend, and that's how that thing works. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw Wayne's World. I know how it works.
And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/Voices from the Vortex, and we're also on Twitter @Vortex Podcast. So yeah, just whatever your sort of medium is, or if you want to follow that, if you're so inclined, by all means. We also have an email address, too. If you
Yes.
want to send us an email or want to send us something interesting, you can do it that way, too. It's just voicesfromthevortex@gmail.com.
Completely forgot. We actually have an email.
Yes. I use it every so often to email stuff to myself. Stuff that I want to keep for other things.
Yeah, you got to get some loving from somewhere.
Well, that's the show, everybody. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah,
Once
don't
again,
worry.
listening to the...
I was going to say, we will be back. We will not just wait till April. We have some old episodes we're gonna cover, and just some a little extra special stuff up our sleeves. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. We'll see you all later.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.